Okay guys, so welcome back. The purpose of this video is to take an overview of free response question 2. This is something that is actually a very generalized look at what these free response questions look like. So again, we're looking at our CED, that's our course and exam description, and we're going to go down to the exam in the table of contents and take a look at the free response question type number 2. So if we go down here to sample exam questions on page 228 of your CED, it starts off with the multiple choice, which we won't go through right now. Right now we're going to be looking at free response questions. So down here on page 233, you will see question 2. This is a sample that they gave and is available to the CED. And actually on the APES course page, one of the things you're going to notice about the APES course page is they actually have put in a file with the answer keys to this. So in the actual CED, there is no answer key to the free response. There are answer keys to the multiple choice and the objectives and skills and units. And same thing with the free response. It tells you the skills, the objectives, and the units, but there's no key on here. Okay. Now, so the scoring guideline for these sample questions can be found down here. So you've got your walkthrough, course and exam description, and then the updates, and then there's your scoring guidelines. So that is available to you. If you would like to take a look at that, practice yourself and see what that looks like. But I wanted to focus on question 2 today because it's something that we've actually seen quite a bit of. Question 2 is your general free response question. Now, College Board themselves outline what questions look like if you go a little further up in the document on what they're looking for. So on page 233 on the digital and 226 on the paper copy, you see that there's a description of what you want. So question 1 was our design and experiment question. Question 2 is to analyze an environmental problem, propose a solution, which is the big theme here. And then you're either going to see a model or a visual representation or even quantitative data, and it's going to ask them to describe the environmental concept and process and use a model in a written format. It's going to analyze visual representations, and it's going to have them propose a solution. So that's practices number 1, 2, or 5, and also 7. Okay, so as I mentioned, there are examples here, at least one, and that's a climate question, if I believe correctly. Yes, changes in average temperature. And so you see from 1900 to 2016 the change, and then you see the questions. Notice how they bold the keywords, and you don't see anything that says calculate. Okay, so what's new about these keywords are identify and describe and explain. Those are ones you've seen in previous exams. What is new is the word propose and justify. Okay, that's something that kids will need to be able to do. So in the past, it was just explain what's going on, or they might have asked to propose something, but it wasn't a hard and fast rule that kids needed to know that. That is actually up here in the beginning of the documents exam section. Scroll back up for a second. That show you the task verbs. So students now explicitly are told what they need when it comes to these. So that's something that you got to make sure that you point out to your students, and when they're answering free response questions, that they are prepared for. Now, what you're going to see here is, again, there's no words that say calculate, but they are going to refer to the graph, and occasionally they may ask a question about calculating percent change. So, that's something I would still include with your teaching for students in these. And you're going to see that a lot of it is just describe and kind of recall information, but there is going to be that propose and justify. So we do have some history with this in the APES exam. So if you look at 2018, This is a couple of years ago before the CED changes. So this is no longer part of the exam. So there will no longer be a Fremont question, a question about with the article, and then questions following that. So that's not going to be included. Number two is actually more related to number three of the new test. So this is a calculation question. So this is what question three would look like on next year's exam. And then here, number three is what you would expect from a question two on the new test. So you see there's a visual representation. They have to fill out their answer in a table, and they have to use the keywords identify, describe, explain, provide a reason, describe this, describe that. Notice how there is no justify and propose. So there's a provide, but there's a little bit of a difference. So that's something that you would see on there. So that's question three from 2018. And then if you look at question four from 2018 as well, that one really would not count under the questions, because what you're going to see here is in the descriptions, there's not really a visual representation in these. So I'm going to go back one more time. Okay. Um, there, a scenario needs to be accompanied either by a model or quantitative data. So if you look at this on the 2018 example, that doesn't really have a model or quantitative data. So that's kind of the questions they threw out. So question four is kind of like an add-on, and so they kind of reformatted things. And this would not be a good example to practice with. Number three would be a better example to practice with. And so, even though we have AP Classroom, as I mentioned, it's always good to look at previous questions and to see what specifically a student needs to be able to do. And that's something that definitely is going to be required. And then over here in question three of the new form, that's going to be with calculations. So definitely make sure that you're clearing the pattern for students to understand. So that they understand, well, they're always going to have a environmental scenario, right? But it'll have some sort of uh, design and investigation for question one. Question two will be analyzing a problem with a real scenario, but it'll have a model or quantitative data or visual. And then question three will be for sure calculating. They will have to get half their points from calculations there. So hopefully that clears it up, and you're able to do a little bit more practice with question two, and be able to find better questions. And in our face to face through Zoom, we'll go over more of the typical types uh, of questions, and you will actually look at samples from AP Classroom. So hopefully that was helpful, and you'll be able to see how to prepare students for that.